the old school colour, sir, as I did in days gone by.
What is all this?
It's a recitation, Prudnose.
Are you doing it for money?
Well, naturally, people don't do this sort of thing for nothing these days, except young girls at parties that say, "Hush, I hear a pigeon in the wood," and cup one tiny hand to the ear hole, leaning sideways as they do it.
Oh, stop. It makes me sick.
I know, that's why I do it. Now get out! Now, whilst on the subject of verse, I must tell you that the poet Roland Milk, who admires the prose of Miss Gertrude Stein, set himself the task of importing her principles into his poetry. He could not, however, cast aside those fairy rhymes that have made him famous. This is what he wrote.
I see the daffodils, the hills upon. Upon. See, I see, upon the daffodils, the hills.
At his second attempt, he was more successful and produced this really beautiful poem, striking alike in its economy and restraint.
Daffodils.
He is to recite it himself through a paper funnel next Sunday night at the Haringey Bards to an audience of unemployed grouters. Now, despite defence cuts, Captain Fowlernuff maintains that high standard of courtesy and all-world charm that has made his name a byword the length and breadth of number 4 platform, Newcastle under Lyme. Comfortable?
Yes, darling.
Not drafty?
No, darling.
Not bumpy at all?
No, darling.
Seat all right?
Yes, darling.
Got a cushion there?
Yes, I have, darling.
Then let's change places, my darling. Next summer, the Greater London Council are building a flyover across Beethoven's 7th Symphony to ease the congestion among the violinists during the forte passengers, as at present they're only doing 30. The idea, of course, comes from Dr. Strabismus, whom God preserve of Utrecht. Here he is with his latest lecture.
Good evening. Continuing my lectures on the instruments of the orchestra and the unusual uses to which they are put. Tonight, how to escape from inside a bass drum. Now, owing to the rising cost of travel, many instrumentalists have to travel inside their instruments to avoid paying the fare. This can lead to disturbances. Only recently, a lady percussionist was trapped inside her own bass drum for the entire 1812 overture and went dead. Should this happen to you, take the following precautions. First, light a fire. Wait for the fire brigade and pray that they come quickly. As a precaution, write your will on the inside skin of the drum, so hang yo. Perhaps it would be better to wait until the percussionist beats loudly on the drum and then say in a louder voice, "Come in, zo."
Come in!
Hang the. Lastly, if this fails, then force the legs through the base of the drum zo and make the journey by road. Next week, I will tell you how to mate tubas.
Now, here is a list of the latest inventions of Dr. Strabismus, and these include a hollow sausage made from reindeer skin to store bicycle clips in, a napkin made of blotting paper for absorbing gravy or blotting beef, a foghorn sharpener, waterproof spinach for divers to eat, a portable chimney in which bits of glass may be smoked during eclipses, 2 methods of detecting billiard cues by sense of smell, and a glass waistcoat for sunbathing. Anyhow, it was learned late last night that the case of Miss Elvira Staggage versus Broxholm Hydraulic Laundries and others will come up shortly for hearing. It concerns the ruination of 16 yards of washable twill used in making coverings for the tails of rocking horses. Mr. Justice Cocklecarrot presides.
Having regard to the curious nature of this case, I think there should be an appeal under Article 6 in the statute of Jiminy and Bockage. Don't you think so, Mr. Hermitage?
Under statute law, my lord, refraction must be proven.
Aye, and it not be proven. There's always the right of multiple cousinage, Mr. Snapdriver.
And wivenage in lieu of direct mendability, my lord.
Hence the sockage.
Yes.
Now, will someone please tell me what this case is about?
Certainly, my lord. The 12 red-bearded dwarfs in this case.
12 red-bearded dwarfs? What connection have they with the Broxholm hydraulic laundry?
These gentlemen have a controlling interest in the laundries, my lord.
Then-
In fact, they are Broxholm hydraulic laundries.
Then who are the others described in the writ?
I believe, my lord, that they are other dwarfs.
How many?
41, my lord.
Merciful heavens, call Miss Staggage.
Call Miss Staggage.
Your name is Elvira Staggage?
No, my name is Amy Clout. Elvira Staggage is my trade name.
I see, yes. Now, you own a rocking horse factory.
No, I act for the real owners.
And who are they?
A number of red-bearded dwarfs. I can see them over there.
This is intolerable. These dwarfs are both plaintiff and defendants in the same case. This is without precedent. What do they think they're up to, suing themselves?
They maintain, my lord, that in their capacity as hydraulic launderers, they've swindled themselves in their capacity as rocking horse manufacturers.
Let them take the stand.
Well, as I was saying to you at lunchtime, you see.
Well, sherry is far more important than anything else in the court. I don't mind telling you
absolutely.
that. I mean, one doesn't like it. Yes, definitely.
Read their names.
Sophus Barkeo Tong.
Here.
Eminent Axling.
Here.
Farhole Merrybody.
Yeah.
Gutton Guttergaunton.
Yeah.
Badley Oran Passer.
Yeah.
Churn Rincewind.
Yeah.
Cleveland Zackhouse.
That's me.
Mollinator Bilderborst. Edel.
That's me.
Scorpion de Roof Trouser.
Okay.
Listeners Young Haupt.
I...
Frums Guinea-Gottle.
Are these genuine names?
No, my worship.
Who is that? What is your name?
It's bogus, my lordship.
No. What is your real name?
My real name is bogus, your excellency.
I suggest that this ludicrous case, which need never have come into court, can be settled quite easily if the dwarfs, in the person of the hydraulic laundry, apologize to themselves in the person of the rocking horse factory for having destroyed a twill covering for a non-existent tail. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir. If
I trust that my next case will not include these tiresome little gentlemen. I think I'm due for a bit of the straightforward stuff.
It's said that the English have the sea in their blood, and in many cases you can see where it gets in. This, of course, leads to nautical prose, particularly sea fever. Now, I do not deny the Englishman's love of the sea, but I think that song, which is usually sung in a drawing room to Mr. Ireland's settings, should be amended like this. I must go down to the sea again, to the salt sea wind and the spray, and muck about on the promenade in the usual kind of way. And all I ask is a whelk stall and a stone's throw from the water, and a pint of shrimps in a paper bag with Fiona, the landlady's daughter. I've seen thousands of my countrymen happy like that.
A marquis was playing at ping-pong in his Tudor dining hall when his aged butler informed him that a countess was coming to call. The nobleman's socks, they had fallen while he galloped around the net. The white-haired old butler had brought him a thorough grip garterette.
Yes. Thread goals, thorough grip, garterets. Stay taut the whole game through.
Thread goals, thorough grip, thread goals, thorough grip, garterets.
The moment I enjoy above all others is when, with pulses racing, I can say, here is another reading from the Anthology of Huntingdonshire Cabmen. If you thrill to last week's selection, you'll agree that tonight we surpass it with a jar to mitt. Oh, this is living.
Jarrow Narkwinder, J. Luma, B. Lumsden, the Reverend W. Lustwicket, the elder. Lustwicket, the younger. Lysander, AFS, OBE. Muntz, R. Munch, WP. Munge, Abacuck. Nice, A. Mintz, Joseph, Mince Whippet, O. Nightwarp, Aloysius, Mitlesham, Edgar Allen. C under lapsed.
At Narkover College, an inquiring parent asked Dr. Smallick how the sexes were segregated. If you must know, madam, he said, we go round with a crowbar and prise them apart. But now, what of life in the academic shallows of Narkover? To read the truth, Dr. Smart-Aleck is very worried.
But Ginger, I'm worried. It's this new master Blanket. I suspect he's been planted on me by a gang. Oh, I know he looks innocent enough. But when he got 17 aces into one of my own packs of cards that normally carries 8, I raised my eyebrows. And when he supplied the chain for a watch I'd acquired outside the school chapel during an organised scrimmage, I began to think. But when I discovered that he owned a controlling interest in the school tuck shop under an assumed name, I realised I'd been stung. And then there was yesterday. A consignment of red ink had been lost in transit. I went to dinner with Blanket last night.
Thank you, Blanket. An unusual wine, Blanket.
Shall I get my ink merchant to send you a dozen?
Why, you dirty...
Yes?
Delicious.
A very satisfactory football result this week. Narkover beat Rumbleford College 6-0.
Yes, I know, but I had a lot of money on Rumbleford to win.
Yes, I know. But someone gave the Rumbleford team a £5 each to lose.
Yes, I know, but I'd already given them a £10 each to win.
Yes, I know.
And then I found out after the game that someone had previously given each of them an IOU for £20, apparently signed by me, to let Narkover win.
Yes, I know. Oh, by the way, Headmaster, that reminds me. I want to thank you for letting me have your autograph for my collection.
Yes, and judging by the number of IOUs bearing my signature, which have appeared since your arrival, you made good use of it. Well, there'll be another day. I must be off now. I'm taking the upper 6th in roulette. And when I say taking, I kid you not.
Good night, Headmaster.
Good night, Blanket. I say, Blanket, this is your watch, I think.
No, Headmaster, it's yours.
Anyone worth his salt must admire the brushwork of Michelangelo. The magnificent painted ceiling of the Sistine Chapel showed he was not only a genius, but a very tall man. Of course, a few purists said it could have done with a second coat, or that a brown emulsion would have been easy to live with, but by and large, Michelangelo is acclaimed as the greatest. Who among the present-day daubers can match him? To try and find out, let's look at today's world of art.
The Royal Academy this year has a number of pictures of varying sizes. Now, the more enormous show a fine command of detail, particularly Mrs. Caravan's 100-yard high corner of a boiler works. And Mr. Kempston's 300,000 shrimps. In the latter, each shrimp and one can almost count their whiskers, is filled in with integrity and verve, and the massed effect of the middle distance recalls the earlier manner of Vaurien, or perhaps Nitouche. The intensity of Miss Creedle's Autumn in Nunhead. So lift the picture off the canvas and hurl it at the head of the beholder. Mrs. Vengeance's screamingly funny old general gains by being hung crooked. The scullery, more repos, a tasteful interior by Miss Hilda Wyburn, is so charmingly unexpected that one wonders what is what. Miss Mabel Dwack's thirsty plumber is wrong in tempo, but admirably observed, and is an excellent neighbour for Mr. Guy Spunder's fishermen mending their nets at Swindon. And a final word must be said, though what word I know not, for Mrs. Cherdoli's still life, Vienna steak.
Here now is a charming verse cull from my latest attempt at what is called the Woogie Poogie Boo kind of children's book, When We Were Very Silly. Forward, Theobald James, 11.
John Percy said to his nursey, "Nursey," said he, "tell father I'd much rather he didn't write books about me." "Looks a mercy," shouted Nursey. "John Percy," said she, "if Dad stopped it, if Dad dropped it, we shouldn't have honey for tea."
The Filthy Stand Trio are playing a season in Edinburgh outside the festival. About 114 miles out, in fact. Like all the celebrities, the Filthy Stand Trio are besieged by their adoring public wherever they appear. With all the wisdom of the Middle East behind them, and a split week in Gosford in front of them, the trio have never allowed their fans to interfere with their art. Welcome to La Strada Berwick-on-Tweed. And now the three filthies in their depth of faggot, the Filthy Stand Trio.
Excuse me?
Please, we're not allowed to talk while we're working, baby.
Blonde bombshells is bad for our heart.
No infiltration of glamour. Oh, yes.
But I only want your autograph.
Later, I'll give you autographs. And we also give kisses for charity.
Oh, what charity?
Any charity, but afterwards, baby. Oh,
But I fancy you on the plank to have my picture taken.
Oh, no. Please, madam. Oh, no. No, no. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Please, madam. You don't know what you're doing. We are only human beings. If we see this sort of thing, it troubles us. Yes, and our seesaw wobbles.
Yes, and our feelings is bubbling too, my dear.
Don't tempt us, vampire. We are forgetting our act once before when a beautiful widow was smiling at us from a doorway. No, our motto is, Tum kya jat siyat hai. No photographs. No photographs.
Oh, no. Perhaps if we closed our eyes.
Closed our eyes? What's the good of that? Then we couldn't see her. Wait a minute, please. Are we not respectable persons with the gentle wives? More beautiful than any film star? No. Wait a minute. He had not written that a woman out of sight is but the buzz of a gannet in the ear hole of somebody else.
No.
What are we going to do? I know what I'm going to do.
I am thinking. You're thinking. We are asking the blonde vampire to launch the door.
That's right. Making with a large bottle of champagne. Oh, the champagne. Good. Then we'll be in our photograph will be in the European paper, and we'll be like European citizens. Come on, baby. Hello, baby. Oh, hello, baby. Oh, yum. And please now, the lady will be making my husband and I speech. Oh, good.
My husband and I name this ship Indomitable, and may God bless all who stand on
Good evening. At the present time, a great variety of things are sold in every sort of bottle, tin, carton, etc. And each article has a special function. Thus, one article will cure baldness, while another will remove warts as though by magic. Our idea here at Snibbo headquarters is to place upon the market some single article which will combine all the qualities of all the various articles. At last, we've found it. We're calling it Multi-Snibbo. Its basis is a subtle but harmless mixture of lard and powdered horseradish, and it will be sold in this handy dispenser. The merest amateur in business will see at once that this preparation can hardly fail to cure whooping cough, polish leather, remove rust from piano keys, heal cuts and burns, give self-confidence, increase trousers, make you thin, fat or medium, cleanse dainty fabrics, kill rats and so on. Nor do we forget the children. It can be used as a custard or as a glue for the broken limbs of toy horses. At last, the ideal Christmas present for all. Yes, Snibbo has done it again.
Use Snibbo.
We're told that every year more and more English holiday makers go to the continent for their annual vacation. Now, to reverse this trend, Mrs. McGurgle is attempting to bring a touch of Deauville and Tossa del Mar to her establishment. Our interviewer, Monsieur Mervyn Glue.
So, Mrs. McGurgle, it's goodbye, Marine House.
Yes, but it's hello, Casa McGurgle. In fact, I am toying with the idea of rechristening our little home from home, Hotel McGurgle et de l'Univers. That seems to me to have the right international ring to it.
And the cooking?
Oh, that too has gone gay. The cabbage will now be boiled a lot longer, and the breakfast kipper is to be renamed Kipper de Mer Maître d'Hôtel.
Very appropriate.
Yes. You see, I know well the lofty secrets of the cordon bleu, having twice made the day trip to Boulogne.
Well, Mrs. McGurgle, how do you plan to make the cuisine more cosmopolitan?
I do not intend serving frogs fried in sparkling champagne, Mr. Glue. Oh, no, give me a good hot pot any day.
But didn't your experiences in Boulogne suggest anything to you?
They certainly did. They certainly did. But I did not take the trip to Boulogne in order to eat a lot of French mook. Oh, no. We took with us a flask of tea, of course, some bullseyes, a packet of crisps, a few sardines, and a bar of chocolate cream. When you are hungry, that is what I call food.
I'm sure you do.
But of course our going continental has caused a certain amount of, misunderstanding, I should say, among the local tradespeople. In a fit of Latin gaiety, I chanced to refer to our butcher's boy as amigo. You have no idea the trouble I had to explain to the lad's father that amigo is only the French word for my little friend.
Is it? I notice that you're wearing a bangle on your ankle. Is that part of the new image?
It does not mean that I've been sold into slavery at the marketplace of Bognor, and it does not in fact emanate from Cap Ferrat. It is merely a curtain ring from Hammond and Pycroft of Scunthorpe. So you see, Mr. Glue, while imparting the continental flavour, we have not forgotten the true British boarding house virtues of good honest food, no ladies in the rooms, and lights out at 9. I thank you.
I thank you.
Mrs. McGurgle lives, I'm assured. The pride of the caged bird shows at the Alexandra Palace recently was a bald-headed canary said to be very old. He no longer sings, but if he wore a large wig and made a farewell appearance 4 times a year under the name of Gracie Fields, any publisher would pay him handsomely for his memoirs. Now, it's not generally known that if you release a bald-headed canary from its cage, by some instinct, it will find its way back to a wig maker's in the Bahamas, where it was born. Or am I thinking of eels? Tomorrow, a list of telephone numbers of Cumberland.
Why?
For those who wish to ring up Cumberland, stupid.
Oh, this is really hardly the legitimate business of television.
Neither is the great whack I'll give you on the jaw if you don't get out! And now, hot from the Scottish press, an old Scottish air called Bonnie Jeannie, although its real name is McWhirler's Lament. Oh, can ye Willie Broon Jeannie? Oh, ken ye Brully Glen? Why the Baslucks on the brig, Jeannie? Ah, Bukar for Big Ben. Snee white your hair, Jeannie, working down the wall. The maiden crees are bracht, Jeannie, and the loose spars in the wall. Sarins the tweed hooked, Jeannie, blithe, determined Barney skull. The snoters blake the cripple, Jeannie. Way Burke frae the girl. Oh, ken ye Willie Broon, Jeannie? Where's the limmer noo? Licked the strict, the brick licked nicked. Our money a tirlair to you.
Hold on a minute. There were a number of words in that poem that I didn't understand.
Which words, numbskull?
Bannock.
A small ban, white in colour.
Gotcha.
A ramrod curing of female whitebait.
Wow.
Decayed treacle. A cabman's collar in a teapot.
Wow.
A method of boiling glue in Lanark.
Devied.
A goiling sound like the frackle of a hoocht.
Tolmond.
The edge of an egg in midwinter.
Snother.
A frozen handcuff.
Sir.
A glimpse of red flannel on a ship's bridge.
Julia, I believe you're making them up.
I'll give you a whack on the jaw. Get out. And now, before we conclude tonight, a letter from Worried Blue Eyes of Ealing, who writes, if a girl is out walking with 2 boys, should the girl walk in the middle? The answer, no. The 2 boys should walk in the middle. And remember, we're all backing Britain over a cliff.